A federal grand jury has indicted 2 Afghan refugees, accusing them of committing heinous crimes while being housed at Fort McCoy in Wisconsin after being taken out of Afghanistan. Joining us now to talk more about this is Wisconsin Congressman and House Judiciary member Tom Tiffany. Congressman, good morning. It's nice to see you. This is unbelievable stuff here. And we knew, we didn't want it to, but we knew that something like this could happen after that botched withdrawal. You sent a letter to President Joe Biden demanding answers after these charges were levied. First of all, what did these guys do? What are they being accused of?
Well, first of all, it's very predictable that this would happen when you don't have a thorough vetting process. Because as we found out a month ago, when I made my first visit to Fort McCoy, that no one was being vetted. We were told a month and a half ago by the Biden administration that everybody's going through the SIV process. There's a thorough vetting going on. It's clear that it's not happening. And so you have a man who raped 2 young boys, and then you also have a man who beat his wife. And it gets even worse this week when you go out over the weekend, when we heard about out in Fort Bliss, where a group of Afghans that came here beat a United States soldier, a female United States soldier. This stuff is going to continue because there was not a thorough vetting process. It's awful.
That is awful. What happens to those 2 Afghanis now? Are they deported, or do they get due process like any American citizen would?
Yeah, they go into the federal system now, and virtually impossible to get them out of this country. I predict that they will not be deported. They're going to end up in our prison system. And by the way, if they end up in a court of law like in Dane County, in Madison, who knows? They may only get a slap on the wrist. And I hope that they get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But this is the problem. They're now in the United States. Virtually impossible for them to be removed from our country.
Yeah, I know that there are refugees being held across the state of Wisconsin and many other states across this country. Very little vetting. How concerned are you about the lack of vetting? And by the way, I'm not just talking about the 50 to 60,000 Afghan refugees. I'm talking about the 15,000 Haitians and the 2 million people that will cross our southern border illegally by the time we hit the 1-year mark of Joe Biden in the Oval Office.
Under the Biden administration, the United States government, our government, has turned into a human trafficking enterprise. I've been to the border twice this year. I've been to Panama. I saw them coming through the Darien Gap. Some of those Haitians, I met them when I was down in the Darien Gap in Panama. It is a pipeline coming to the United States. And you have all these organizations that are facilitating, including the International Organization for Migration, a UN outfit that's contracted by the State Department to resettle people in this country. They're all part of the Open Borders group. They're the ones that are controlling the flow at this point.
Congressman, I want to pivot to some of the bills that are going to be on the House floor and Senate floor throughout the week. It's going to be a busy week, to say the least. Today, that $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill will be voted on by the House. I'm wondering, Joe Biden has been largely missing in action when it comes to promoting and selling these bills, not only to the House and Senate, but also to the American people. This is his agenda. It's his responsibility. Where is he?
Where is he on the border? Where is he on inflation? Where is he on any of these issues that are affecting the American people? He is AWOL. This is purely a Pelosi power play that is going on at this point. She is twisting arms as much as she can. This is her deal. And I got to say, I'm just so pleased that our whip, Representative Scalise, has said in regards to the infrastructure bill that is not really an infrastructure bill, that he has whipped against it now because it is not good for America. It's going to lead to further inflation, eroding people's wages here in America.
Yeah, I can't believe it. There's only $110 billion in that bill actually dedicated to roads and bridges in a $3.5 trillion bill. Just unbelievable stuff. Congressman Tiffany, we appreciate you being on with us. Thank you for bringing that story to our attention. It's just shocking stuff, and sadly, more of this could continue to happen. Just quick 10 seconds, sir. Do you think this is as simple as this is about turning America blue permanently? Just in 10 seconds, if you could.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case or not, but all I know is the Europeans who were in the middle of the last migrant surge in 2015, they said no this time. Why would America say yes and with this incomplete vetting process?
I do not have an answer, sir. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
It's good to be with you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.